Left half forward, Mark Little.
And this is the Fermanagh team, and these are two changes. Niall Bogue coming in at right corner back. Ryan McCluskey, not unexpectedly, comes in at right half. I expect him to play centre half back, and it'll be Shane McDermott who will switch across from the number 6 position to the number 5. And that is a change which has just been made in the last couple of minutes. So that's Fermanagh's team for this afternoon. So Peter Turley's at full back. Benny Coulter, well, he's on the caption there at right half forward. I'd expect him to be in the inside forward line, obviously. It could be that Stephen Kearney will go to midfield, and it could be that Peter Fitzpatrick, wearing number 9, will play at full forward. That's where he's been trying out in training in the past week. So the stage is set and everything is ready for the start of the 2009 Ulster Football Championship. And straight away on the greasy surface, it is Fermanagh who tried to launch the opening attack there. Marty McGrath, their captain, good shoulder, and that time the referee is in immediately here, and he could end up getting a yellow card, first of the Ulster Championship, inside just 30 seconds or a little more. There it is. So Ryan McCluskey taking this one up here towards Ryan Keenan. Can't hold on to it, however. And Luke Howard sets Danny Hughes on his way, slipping there on the greasy conditions, however. This is Tommy McElroy looking for the opening point of the match. It looks good. It's a very fine effort indeed. The man from Brookborough. Huge kick, wind assisted. Right back again towards Aidan Carr. All the way down into the corner here for McComiskey. Very tricky forward. Benny Coulter! Over the bar from Benny Coulter. Just wonder if he was going for another goal that time. It was a very dangerous moment for Fermanagh. Benny quite happy to take the point and tie up the game at 2 points apiece. Enterprising run across here by Ryan Keenan. Older of the two Keenan brothers. Nicely fed inside here. McElroy back out again towards James Sherry. He's got one already, now he's got a second, and the teams are level. 3 points apiece. That's really good work by James Sherry. One again by Down, but then lost rather easily. Fermanagh have the chance now to build. Taking it forward here into that tricky situation. Here's Marty McGrath. Has a player outside him should he need him. McGrath fancying his chances, and why not? With kicking excellence like that. Great score by Marty McGrath, the team captain. He's made it 5 points apiece. Well, he was given space. He had Tommy McElroy to his right. Didn't need him. Great kick. Bogue after it again. Fermanagh not making any headway. 5 points apiece. Midway through this first half. Nicely across here for Danny Hughes. McGrath can't get to him, and it's Hughes who strikes it confidently over the bar. Good work by Danny Hughes, his first of the afternoon. Means that everybody in the inside forward line has got a point to their name at this stage. Here's Kieran McElroy. Notionally the centre half forward, back around his own half back line. McCluskey on as far as Tommy McElroy, beat the attempted block of McComiskey that time. Inside towards Carson, held on to it, trying to win his own ball, and does. Good shot. Ryan Carson from Newton Butler, his first point, and Fermanagh shoot back into the lead again by 7 points to 6. Fermanagh playing at home have certainly carried the fight and certainly looked highly confident, but right now Stephen Kearney has a chance to open them up. He's got McComiskey just ahead of him. It's still Kearney shooting from 20 metres, putting it over the bar, and the teams are level. The ball is still in play, and it's Stephen Kearney feeding it forward here to Danny Hughes. Hughes looking up, trying to spot the run of Benny Coulter. Such a crafty player, injured or not, swinging the leg at this, and what a point! Point of the match so far. Benny Coulter, the scorer. 2 shots at the target for Benny Coulter, 2 points, and Down lead by 2. It's 9-7. What about this for a score? Absolutely terrific. Forward again here is Declan Rooney. Swift counter-attack inside towards Benny Coulter, flicked it down there towards Peter Fitzpatrick, just too far to the right of him. Recycled well, back to Danny Hughes. Hughes having a go, the umpires go back, have a look at it, like it, wave a white flag, and a point for Down. Danny Hughes, second of the day, and it's 10-8.
Yeah, again, very, very good score that time. Again, beautiful flick that time from Coulter Fitzpatrick. And again, good support play once again from Danny Hughes, who's been outstanding in this game.
Rain pouring down as Peter Sherry belts it in the general direction of the Down goal. They look for a favourable break. Dan Gordon was back tracking Marty McGrath. Good work by the Down captain, but it ends up being a Fermanagh free anyway, after all of the hard work of Peter Turley and the rest of the backs. This was James Sherry. He was trying to make some headway, and then the referee saw a drag down. Up for the Brollies again. Very fine ground here at Brewster Park. Very fine surface as well. And now another big test for Ryan Carson to kick with the left. Big cheer. The local fans are happy. He's got another one. And that's 3 points for the afternoon for the Newton Butler player. Well, it's been a fair while now since Down had a score. It's some 14 to 15 minutes, and they've conceded another free kick, which is taken very quickly by Carson. On for it here is Kieran McElroy. Onto his left, having a go. Again, the fans like it. The umpires concur and wave the white flag. And Fermanagh lead in this preliminary round Ulster Championship match, 11-10. Fermanagh very definitely have their game plan, and they're working to it. And it's Shane Lyons once again, up from full back. Aidan Carr chasing after him, still trying to win it, and the referee says he fouled Shane Lyons, and that is a marvellous run there by the Ern Gaels player, drawing the foul, and a chance to put 3 between them. And that in the 68th minute.
Yes, everything is going Fermanagh's way at the moment. They're way more enthusiastic. They look fitter, actually. Again, a lot of support runners coming from the back. And again, they're drawing the errors from the Down defence. Down are conceding too many frees during the second half.
Conor McGinn is just coming in for Peter Fitzpatrick. Meanwhile, all eyes on Ryan Carson. He's done well so far. 4 from frees. This was the weakness they had in last year's Ulster final matches against Armagh. No weakness today. Down looking for a goal to take it to extra time. And it's Marty McGrath who's back, holding, waiting. Shane McDermott now, challenged here by Benny Coulter. Dished off again to McGrath. Fouled, free out for Fermanagh. And the match is very, very nearly at the stage where we enter stoppage time. Aidan Carr has been called across. Absolutely frustration now. Everywhere and anywhere you look where Down's concerned, and he's deeply frustrated. And he's got a red card. And Aidan Carr is sent off. It's gone from bad to worse for Ross Carr, now with his son off and his team down to 14 players. And there is the final whistle, and Fermanagh beat Down in the preliminary round of the Ulster Football Championship. What a start for Malachy O'Rourke, the finalist last year. Darrell Keenan came in and enjoyed his first day in the championship, scored a point as well, but overall Fermanagh had all of the answers to Down. It's Fermanagh who did the business at Brewster Park, a ground they love playing on, their home ground here, and they win. It's 13 points for Fermanagh, Down a disappointing 10 points.
I felt with 2 points up, we had a couple of chances to go another point or two up, and we missed them. And then there was a 10 or 12 minute period of time where we just kept giving the ball away. And really, Fermanagh got a couple of scores as a result of our turnovers. It gave them a bit of confidence, and from then they had a bit of momentum, and momentum carried them through. You know,
after having not having a great league, we kind of knuckled down there for the last 6 to 8 weeks, and we have worked very hard. And I think we knew that if you were in the mix with 5-10 minutes to go, that our fitness would pull us through. And at the end of the day, it showed there. We got a few crucial scores that just got us over the line. So we're happy to be going on to face Cavan now.
Well, Anthony, Fermanagh clearly got surprised most of the pundits. Did they surprise you?
They didn't really in the way that they play. Fermanagh are very, very difficult to play against, very, very well organised, very, very hard working. They play for each other. They know their own strengths and they play to them. And they're written off all week. Very few people give them a chance. I think people expected Down's tradition in football that has happened in the 60s and in the 90s to get them home today. But Fermanagh, a bad league, capitulated in 2 important games last summer. The difference today was that they were able to put the ball over the bar. We saw all the old good traits of their commitment, their desire. They were fantastic. I thought it was a great victory for Fermanagh and fully deserved.
For Down, Tony, a bit of a disaster. Do you think they'll be able to regroup now for 7 weeks' time in the
It's very hard for them, I suppose. One positive they can take from today, Benny Coulter was injured, he'll certainly be fit, but very hard to lift themselves up from this today, Down were most people's favourites going into it. Right up to half-time they were in the game. But as Anthony said, Fermanagh have learnt. They've come on from last year. They would have needed 70% possession last year and they still wouldn't get the scores. They got them this year, and one of the most crucial things of all, they have a free taker now that'll take all their scores.
Right, let's have a look at that then, the improvement you found in Fermanagh scoring compared to last season.
Well, last year, as I said, they needed the ball. They needed to own the ball to get the scores. This year, they've worked hard over the winter, obviously. And we can see Tommy Elroy coming up the field, who says half-backs can score. And this is the first couple of minutes in the game as well. And everyone is saying they can score. Here's a good quick ball in. Working it very intelligently up the field. Not doing anything stupid. Working it around until they get into a scoring position. And James McSherry eventually gets the ball in from 45 yards out. He gets this over the bar. Fantastic score. And the other aspect of it is their full forward, Ryan Carson, today. Now, a long ball in, 2 other green jerseys waiting for it. He beats his man and butts it over the bar. Last year, they weren't working the ball into the full forward. The real red zone, that scoring position, weren't working it in intelligence. And when they did get it in, they didn't score. Totally different this year. They've learned.
And Anthony, you thought there was a great contrast with the Down attack and the way they were playing the ball in.
Well, there was, particularly in the second half, and if you look at the way the two teams used the breeze, this is Down at the start of the second half, and the big man inside, and what they're trying to do, like a lot of other teams, they're trying to put in early high ball. If he doesn't win it, he's going to break it off. Fellas in looking for the breaks, over to Paul McComiskey, that's a nice point. That's what the whole thing was about, and that's the way Kerry are set up and other teams are set up. But when they started chasing the game and they started getting tired, subs come on, trying to kick in, as a poor enough ball into Benny Coulter, who was really, not at the pace of the game, carrying an injury. And they kept doing that as the game went on. They didn't seem to have any other plan in their attack. Just long ball after long ball. And if you look at the way Fermanagh did it in the first half with the win, Fermanagh were kicking in good early measured ball. Their forwards were out in front, winning possession, laying it off and kicking good scores. And that's really the difference between the two sides and the way they used the breeze. There was no hoof from Fermanagh. All intelligent ball played inside. Tireless working by the forwards, and you see Mark Little kicking a great score. Very, very disappointing the way that Down played in the second half today.
And speaking of that disappointment, Tony, discipline, you felt there were issues with Down discipline in defence and generally.
Certainly for a defender, and particularly in the crucial stage of the game when you're under pressure. And when you have a lot of young players, I thought their discipline coming into the game was very poor. Here you have 5-6 players around the man and they foul him right in front of the goal. Silly thing to give away, particularly when he was covered. Here you get a pull a jersey and another simple free. And as you can see, there was adequate cover here. Ryan Carson driving forward again. This is a good free. That's really a manufactured free to a point, because you drive on, you're fouled. Here we can see the sending off here. Again, John Bannon in a good position, comes out with the ball, holds him up, definitely a free, and Aidan Carr goes over and pushes him in the head. I don't think the referee had any choice whatsoever but to send him off. As we can see as it goes on further, there was only a couple of seconds left in the game, Mark. They were just holding up the ball, trying to kill time. Aidan Carr walks over, lifts his hands up, pushes him in the face, and John Bannett had no choice whatsoever. Must have been very frustrating.
I thought, yeah, it's very harsh to be sent off.
It's not his normal form.
No, he's a great lad, and he'd be absolutely gutted about that. Disappointed that he did a disservice to himself and his teammates, and also to his father. He was just pure frustration. But
yeah.
I think there's an issue there with, with the amount of force that's used in contact like that. We differentiated a couple of years ago between kicking with force and ordinary kicking. For him, if he were to receive a suspension the same as someone who punches someone and breaks their jaw, I think there's an imbalance there that should be
there
addressed.
There is but one aspect of the thing today. I thought some of the frees that were there today wouldn't have been there a month ago with the old rules. If the old rules were brought in at Congress, I thought the game would have been much cleaner today, because it really descended in the second half into loads of fouling. That wouldn't have been there if the old rules were there.
I don't know, Tony. I think you're jumping the gun a good bit on that. I think it wasn't a dirty game.
No, it wasn't.
It was a good.
But there was a lot of fouls.
54
fouls. But you look at the conditions. Look at the terrible conditions
poor,
overhead. Yeah. Look at the terrible conditions underfoot. I actually thought John Bannon had made a reasonable job of it today. And
he did. He had a good
game.
game.
The game flow, but I think we're jumping the gun about looking for the real.
Well, speaking of a good game, then, who were your contenders for man of the match then, Tony?
Well, we chose three. We had James Sherry in midfield. Terrific game. Got 3 points from play and had a fantastic game. Typified everything Fermanagh did. Drove on, got good scores. Danny Hughes, probably the best player on the down team, and huge energy. And Ryan Carson, full forward. Thought he had a terrific game again. A big target man, full forward, and got the frees for them.
And who did you swing it to then, Anthony?
Well, eventually we went for Ryan Carson. Largely, I suppose, because of the number of scores he got for Fermanagh today. But also he was a handful all day when the ball was played in. He's a big, strong fella, able to hold his own, win his own ball, and he can score. And I think even in the second half, when they struggled, they brought Ryan Carson out around the middle when the game was going against them, and he helped stabilise them there. But kicking frees, I know these are probably handy enough free kicks, but
they weren't from.
It wasn't a Fermanagh man could have kicked these for love or money last summer. So we reckon any Fermanagh man who was able to get 3 or 4 points was worthy of a man of the match, and he got that today.
Fermanagh can't be that bad at scoring. I mean, I know at times last year they can't be that bad.
I hope we don't give the impression here that we think they're that bad, because I thought the amount of energy and the hard work and everything they did today, the scores were top class. So I think they'll go on and be very confident playing Cavan.
All right then. Well, let's hear then from today's man of the match winner, Ryan Carson. He's been talking to Joanne Cantwell.
Ryan Carson, congratulations on being the GAA Football Championship Man of the Match. A debut that couldn't really have gone much better, could it?
It went very well for me. Can't believe it. Brilliant, amazing. I don't know what else. Just very happy with the performance.
It wasn't very easy though, was it, out there?
No, it was. The conditions were bad, and down themselves were up for it, and we were up for it, and it's just grit for grit. But in the end, we pulled away, so couldn't be happier.
You pulled away and you had to fight very hard as well there to hang on to that lead.
It was very tight going, and the latter stages got hard, the pitch was hard and the legs were running down, so in the end we got there, so happy days.
Yeah, well done to Ryan. Now the Leinster Championship also got underway in Dublin this afternoon as Luke Dempsey's Carlow side took on